Welcome to another episode of Boat Snoop. I'm your host, Clint Johnson, and what we have for you guys today is a 1997 Donzi 275 LXC. You can see her behind me right here, so let's go take a look at her. So, all right, this is the first Donzi 275, that LXC that I have videoed, and we'll start here on the side. She still has her bottom paint, but looks like, yeah, she's probably due for a new bottom coat job. But you know, this boat is not kept in the water. It is kept up in dry storage, and it's rinsed every time she's taken out. So for that sort of application, or if you had it on the lift, you're going to be perfectly just fine. But if somebody wants to keep it in the water, you definitely want to get a new bottom job. Even though these type of boats, I'd highly recommend against it, since it is an inboard outboard. You don't want to keep an inboard outboard sitting in salt water. If you had fresh water like a lake or river, that's one thing, but that salt water really eats up the outboard portion, that stern drive of an inboard outboard setup. So since they moved the boat right next to this boat, we'll just do a quick, a little bit further out. See our two trim tabs. See 6-bladed prop. All right, let's hop up in this boat and check her out. This boat does have a small swim platform area. We get into the cockpit here. This owner is currently out of Florida, and he's up in Colorado, and he just called me. And so there is a lot of the personal equipment and, you know, that equipment that goes with the boat on board. So you're going to see that around, but just imagine it if, you know, you move that equipment out of the way. You have room for 2, maybe 3 people to sit in the back here. Another additional 2 people could sit right there in that seat. The engine bay should be down below here. We are not going to be running engines today. I'm not allowed to start them. I don't start them. I leave that if I have the owner. It's just too much liability to start engines and generators. And obviously we have it out of the water as well. And so we won't be going out in any sort of trial run today. You know, I like to do that for you guys when I can, but not today on this boat. However, before we move too far forward in the cockpit, I did want to open up the engine bay and show you the engine. We have a Mer Cruiser 7.4 liter. Actually pretty nice, clean looking paint. Hoses don't look too bad at all. Hose clamps don't look bad. From this angle, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of corrosion. I see clean bilges. That's nice. I was wondering what that plastic cover, but it looks like he just put that over there to kind of just keep any condensation type moisture off of what appeared to be maybe some electronics or something down in the engine room. But you got your battery bank there. You got another battery bank there. See that? Fire suppression system. But overall, looks pretty nice. Once again, apologize, you know, can't run it. Just can't start engines for liability reasons. We're not even in the water. And I don't have the owner here to take me out and actually show me what the boat can do. So now that we've looked at the engine, the owner did want me to mention that this Coleman CG 3500i, it's a 3,500 watt max power, 3,000 watt continuous power inverter generator does come with the boat as well, because these boats did not come with a built-in generator. So pretty nice. There's the front of it there, but I did want to mention that. But let's move on forward and check out the front of the cockpit. So we Have a small little sink. We can go down below right there. And up here at the helm, we have room for 2 people to sit comfortably. Start with some of the equipment. We have 2 mirrors. You can see me there. So if you're pulling skiers or tubers or anything like that, you can see them. That's great. That's a nice addition. Don't see that on a ton of boats. We have our VHF. Do have a small Garmin GPS Map 162 and a low Rance right there. Sonar. And sitting at the helm, we have our throttle, steering wheel, and our gauges. Nice thing on this is I see a lot of boats that their gauges are faded and worn and all of that. These are all nice and bright and white. So, and we don't want to forget the compass. And I don't see any air bubbles or anything in the top of that compass. I see that a lot too, where the compass is not fully filled, needs to be replaced, or if it's a refillable type, you know, get it refilled. But that compass looks like it should work and be great. All right, so I'm going to show the bow here. This window actually doesn't break open, and you have to walk around the edge. Since I'm high up in the air, I'm actually not going to do that. If I was on the water and I fell over, that would not be a big deal, but I really don't want to. If I did trip, don't want to hit concrete, so I'm just going to kind of show it from here. We do have 1 hatch, and then up forward we do have an electric windlass. Now, what I know that you're all waiting for is everybody always likes to see the inside. What I did want to show, I found this kind of interesting, kind of liked it, was that this kind of retracts and goes back in and just slides like that. Kind of like that. It's kind of neat. You don't really see that sort of thing. I haven't seen it on any other boats, to be honest. So now that we're down here, the owner of this vessel has wisely put a bunch of damp rid tubs down here. Here in Florida, even though it's kept up on a dry storage rack, because of the humidity and you're up in a dry storage rack, you can't run, you know, air conditioning, anything like that. Using those damp rid buckets throughout the boat, I know that that kind of gets in the way. But just, you know, imagine that is a large, basically V-berth that you can lay down in, and that will also should make into a table. You can see down below that that's where you would sit. You could sit around and eat. So he is out of state, and way out of state, and so wasn't able to get down here and, you know, kind of move some of the equipment around. So I'll just have you use your imagination on that. But back here at the galley, we have a 2-burner electric stove. We have our sink. We have our microwave. We have our stereo. We have our AC/DC panel behind this nice plastic cover. It is a hot day today, and so I did open up these ports and have a nice breeze coming through today. Really nice. We do have a nice Norcold refrigerator. Decent size for this type of boat. Does have an ice box. You can see that up there. Nice and clean. Can't tell you how many boats I get on and the refrigerators are not clean. But this boat, it is clean. So really beamy and roomy up here. Enough for 2 people to sleep. You do have your TV if you wanted to watch, you know, a little bit of TV if you're out, if that's your thing. And then you could sleep an additional couple people back here in this aft berthing. And he has some stuff stored under there, but I think you can all, you know, get the feel for that 2 people could lay down there, or 1 person could just really sprawl out. And then finally, you know, because this isn't a very big boat, nice mirror on the door. We do have the head, and for this size boat, pretty good size. It's a good size sink. We do have the damp rid in there, but you know, that keeps it nice and, you know, keeps mildew and stuff from popping up all over the boat. So, you know, wise thing. That's one of those shower head nozzles, sink shower head nozzles that you can pull up. And this actually is a wet head as well with the drain. So you could shower off if you'd gone out and taken, you know, a dip out in the salt water and you wanted to get it off. But decent size head, lots of room. I'm 5'11". Feels like maybe if you were 6 foot, once you go over 6 foot, you'd have to duck just a little bit. So, well, now that we're done checking out the inside of this boat, we're going to step out and I'll show you the trailer real quick, and that'll probably finish it up for this boat. All right, I wanted to show you guys the trailer. You're going to have to forgive me on this one. We got a lot of trucks. We're right next to a highway. But here's the Texan trailer that does indeed go with this boat, and I just wanted to show it a bit. Well, thank you for joining me on this episode of Boat Snoop. I hope you enjoyed this 1997 Donzi 275 LXC. If you've never seen one, honestly, I'd never seen one. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give that thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more boat videos in the future, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I'll catch you next time.